are working out our problem.
So what do you know? So this is what is the area in square meters of Arrowsville. So what's the area? Okay, but here it says in measurement inside of shape. Do you remember what the array represents? Columns and rows. So maybe you could try counting. Try counting the columns and rows and see what happens here. See it says 1 square meter. See how many square meters that you have. You're trying to get what's inside the whole thing. Gonna give you a couple more minutes. One page. So here, can I just, when I write, do I write on this part?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually, I think I do a little bit more space.
Oh, there
when
we
I
go.
turn it.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
it's a little bit more
Oh,
space.
I
but-
see, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we'll give another minute, finish up. And when you go over this, do you have them meet you at the ground, or do they stay there?
It's different, so like sometimes, oh, well, yeah, to go over that would happen, yeah, that can happen like look at it with each other first.
Okay.
Then we go over the official right answers.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you guys to go ahead and pick a partner, so that way you guys can go over or share, collaborate with your answers. Go ahead, you guys pick whoever. See if you did anything the same or different and discuss.
And how long do you let them discuss?
Like
Just
a minute or two, yeah, especially with a problem like this where it's like an ABCD question, you know,
Yeah,
it's very
really just
straightforward.
picking in,
Yeah,
showing their
but
work.
some questions are like, list how many ways you can find those. I may give them like more time because it's more creative.
Right.
This one is, it's literally a star question.
Right.
So not too much debate that can happen between it.
Okay, once you guys are done collaborating, can you meet me down here with nothing, please?
Oh, do you want them to have boards and markers though? Boards and markers.
Oh, yeah. And actually, can you grab boards and markers, please? Sorry.
This is for me? Wait, are they cute? That's a cute bag.
Share. Share with what we have. You guys can share.
This marker
Oh, just
had
throw it
a
away if
no
it has.
lid.
Yeah,
there's
just throw it away.
Guess what I got second? I deal with stupid things on my It's not that. I mean, how are you? Yes. This sucks.
All right, I think we got everyone. So who can tell me what this array represents? So 12 times 6, but what does it represent? So it's the numbers, what's the 12 times 6 represent in the array? Huh? The lawn, okay. And so how did you get 12 times 6? You just counted the square units on the edge, so let's count together, let's see. And you guys can do this on your board as well if you wanted to draw it out.
I only can do 9 times 8.
Okay, let's count. So we have oh, I have to hit the little button. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6. Yeah, this is getting used to. Okay, I can't write this 6. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let me erase that. How do I erase that?
Oh, sorry, it's all or nothing.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and so then what are we doing? We're doing 6 times 12. Sorry if you can't read that correctly. It's a little. So, does anybody know what 12 times 6 is? 72.
You should all know what 6 times 12 is.
We should all know what 6 times. Yeah, we should know our
And you
multiplication.
can also
Absolutely.
do it here if you know 9 times 8, you can do that.
Why is that? What's the 9 times 8?
75.
But what does that represent?
I just got the idea.
Oh, you were just thinking the idea. Okay, but so you guys see that we used, for area, we were able to multiply what's inside, right? And we use the array, so the square units, or square meters, sorry, the square meters, and we were able to count those. Did anyone else do that, or did something differently?
I did something different, and what I did is inside I counted the squares in the thing, but like in the box.
Oh, you counted all of them.
And I counted the ones below.
So
And
that's a
I
good.
added 6. I added on my paper 12, 6, and then added all of them together to get 72.
So she added them all together. That's definitely a good strategy, but if we're gonna be doing testing, we may not have that, right? We may not have that tool to like count every single one out or draw things out. So it's really good to remember if they had, let me clear this, clear drawing. So if they just had this just by itself, right, with nothing on there, and they said, what is the area in square meters of Aaron's lawn? Would you guys know to count down? Okay, and so that's really all it is. You're trying to figure out all the square meters inside of the shape. So how we would do that is use area, and we're doing multiplication, so we're using how many square units on this side, or square meters, and then square meters on this side. Does that make sense? Okay, so thumbs up, we got it? Thumbs up, thumbs down if we're still not getting it. Thumbs up, okay, good. Okay. So I really love how Miss Crane does today we will explore strategies of multiplication. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go over and discuss distributive property and partial products and products. So this is gonna be some things that we're gonna be doing, working on some problems like this. But just like with problem solving, we were able to use, what is this? An array or a grid, okay. So it's, you guys they had grid paper before?
Yes.
We
Yeah.
did on the practice.
Yeah, so that's what, like that. Okay, so what does an array represent? Do you guys remember?
Multiplication problem.
Okay, what else? What are all these units, square meters?
The measurement of inside in a shape.
Okay, but the array, square meters, so all of these little meters inside, so it's like the columns and the rows. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like what the array is, right? The columns and the rows. So if we look at this problem, what is different from this from the unshaded array. You guys can just throw some things out what you guys see is different.
There are numbers.
There's numbers, what else?
They're different colors.
There's shaded different colors.
There's different numbers.
There's different numbers.
Said that not really
One part isn't equal.
like it seems like you'll have to add since they're both on the same side, you'll have to add the numbers and then multiply.
Yeah, you might have to add the numbers. Okay, so for just like we did for problem solving, if we were to do things the same way, how do you think that we would find out the total number of square meters inside of the whole shaded, of the green and the blue? What do you think we're going to be doing, Slim?
We might have to add the two bottom numbers together and the 7 and find the number that's on the top.
Okay. So let's look at this. So if we did 7 times 10 for this shaded part is equal to 70. And 7 times 12 for the green shaded part.
2 times 2.
7 times 2, sorry. It's 14. So then what do you think, how would we get the total of all of the numbers?
You add them together.
You add them together. So if we did 70 and 14, what is it? 0 plus 4 is?
4.
7 plus 1 is?
4. It is.
So do you see how we broke that like apart? We were able to like section it off to make it easier, because if we did it by its total, like we did for problem solving, what's 10 times 2? 20. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Wait, is that the same thing? I'm sorry, guys. So it's the same thing like we did for problem solving, where we're multiplying everything inside, right? And so here we were able to just break it apart. So let's see if we can do another example. Let me get out of here. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, hold on. How do I get back?
Oh, it's okay. Just, oops. There we go. Just scroll down a little bit.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So for this one, so we are adding, so 12, let me get there. 12, so we're adding the bottom two, and then we're multiplying it by the side. So 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 1.
8.
Was that the same thing that we got before?
Yeah.
It was, huh? So this is just a strategy to show you guys how it's easier. Because sometimes if we're like, oh, 12 times 7, that's such a big number. I can't remember how to, it just seems so much in my head, and maybe we're not going to be write it down. We're thinking like, oh, how can I figure this out? Sometimes it's easier to break it apart, because smaller digits are easier to remember than like the big double digits, right? And so that is another strategy we can use. So let's, for this one, okay, using the distributive property to multiply a 2-digit number, partial products. So we're thinking about build up a strategy to use to figure out multiplication facts. How would you figure out the product of 6 times 7? So now so the same thing we were doing with problem solving, if we were to use an array, show me on your guys' boards, your whiteboards, how you would figure out using an array 6 times 7. kind of pop answer? That's your So who has the answer? 42, okay. 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 So I want to show you guys up here. So look at this example. And so if 6 times 7 was too hard, or just maybe that wasn't a math fact that you just knew at the top of your head, 5 times, do you guys know what 5 times 7 is? Just
Yes, 35.
35. Okay, is that that's easier to remember? Do you see how they added a column? They did 5 times 7, and then they added a column of 7, just one, and was able to add that. So sometimes when we're trying to remember, using these strategies are helpful because we can add another column just like they did here. So 5 times 7 is 35. And then if we added 7 to that, what did we get? What's 7 plus 5?
12.
What's 3 plus 1?
4.
And so I did see a few of you guys already had it 42. Does that make sense? Or is that still like we're not?
That makes sense.
It does make sense? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. Give me a thumbs down if you guys still are not sure. And it's okay if you're not sure. Okay. So let's move on. Wait, how do I find that? Oh, next, right here. Okay, so how would you use the same strategy to figure out the area of a rectangle that is 14 units long and 3 units wide? So if you were to draw out a rectangle, everyone draw a rectangle that is 14 units long and 3 units wide, what do you think the area would be? If we're doing the same thing that we have been doing, using our array with our columns and our rows, yes, yes. Or yes. Actually, no, it's the 3, so your 3 units is gonna be the top and yeah, and the 14 unit long is gonna be like the length of it. So I'm noticing that sometimes drawing this whole thing out is a little bit time consuming, especially for these double digits. And it might get like overwhelming.
So, like, you can draw the rectangle, then the 14's on the bottom, then it'll be this long, so you draw lines.
Uh-huh.
And so, because it's 14, you draw 13 lines, because then there'll be 14 spaces. Then you just draw lines across for how much this number right here, so I'll do 2 since there's 3. And just do that.
Well, I like where your mind's thinking up there with your 10 times 3. Can you explain what your thought process is to everyone? Let us know how, yeah, I want to hear it. I think you're onto something.
So, it's like,
So, but yeah, because you're multiplying 10 times 3, why?
because 14 is a 2-digit number, so I would multiply 10 by 3 and then 4 by 3 and then add it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys heard him, or the ones talking in the back. He is trying to make it easier on himself, so he is multiplying 3 times 10, and if you guys can see up here, he's doing 10 times 3, 3 times 10. He's breaking it up. And how we can do that, we can, when we draw, we can even like do a line like this. So 3 times 10 is,
30.
and then 3 times 4 is 12. So if we added 30 plus 12, what would we get? 42. That was a lot easier than having to figure out what is it? 14 times 3 was, right? Does that make sense how we're breaking it up to make it easier? It does? Give me a thumbs up if this makes sense. Breaking it up. What was that, Chris? Is that what you did too? Yeah, that's easier. I like the way you guys are thinking. Okay. So let's look at an example. So this first one, it says, oh, do you have them work on it like right
Yeah,
now?
you could just do like an example and then they
Then
can
send
go
them back. Okay.
Yeah.
So it says write the product for each part. Do you guys remember what a product is? The answer, yeah. The answer to what? What type of problem? Multiplication. Okay. So 3 times 10 is
30.
3 times 6 is 18.
Do we just like add the front one or something?
So 3 times 6, what did we say it was? 18.
The top numbers up and the total.
So they're asking what is 3 times 16. So 3 is right here, 16 here. That's your length times width. And do you see how it's been split up? So you can even like make a line like this. 3 times 16 is, so if we added 30, who said it? What'd you say? 48. Sometimes it's easier to break things apart and you can see it even visually just like you did, rather than have these double digits. It's just a good strategy to work out your problems.
Oh, I know how you did it. Oh, yeah. You add the 1 to the 30s and add the 8 to the 0.
Yeah, see? You're able to just do it right off your head. That's really good. Okay, so how do you guys feel about this, seeing this example?
Great.
Good, okay, I like that. Let's see the next one. Okay, and so for these, our goal is to be able to just do the 14 times 4, right, to get the area of the square units. So you can break it up however you want to. So if you want to do a line right here, then you would have to count your square units. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 times 6 is, do you guys know what 4 times, what was that?
4 times 6 is
24. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 times 8 is
32.
32. Sorry guys, this is 32 plus 24. Is that easier?
Yeah.
What's 2 plus 4?
6.
3 plus 2. 56 going. Sorry guys. Okay, and so then the last one, let me clear that. Let's see. So for the step ahead, it says that you guys are just gonna draw and label a picture to help you figure out the area of this garden. And you guys are gonna do the same thing. You guys can draw it out and you're gonna figure out what the square, so the area is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you guys feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and get to work.
We use the whiteboard.
Yeah, absolutely.
They use cartoons.
They will take a quiz over this so they can use partners.
Okay, you guys can use partners because you will be, or I'm having a quiz on this.